Welcome to ComicCast, issue 144. Brought to you by Dwayne's World Comics and Games, 457 East Sullivan Street in Kingsport, Tennessee. They carry comic books, graphic novels, statues, toys, gaming merchandise, including miniature games, board games, and RPGs. Check them out, Dwayne's World Comics and Games, Kingsport, Tennessee. My name's Boogie Bentley.
And I'm Adam Wade Adams.
I'm AKA David.
And this is Gaumer.
And we are at ComicCast Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, wherever you get social with your media. Also, if you are going to join us on YouTube, do us a favor, jump over and hit that like button, leave us a comment, and subscribe. Adam Wade Adams.
What's up?
You got some explaining to do.
I don't gotta explain anything.
Should we go ahead and get into it now, or should we let this live chat fill up a little bit first?
Get into it now.
Dang, bro, calm down. Actually, I think we should start this podcast off with the conversation we had right before we went live.
Do it.
After Gomer beat the hell out of his kid right in front of all of us.
It was wonderful. I'm glad I had capture on.
Yeah,
Thanks.
he made me proud.
I'm in the South, so it's legal. Everything I did was legal.
This conversation's nowhere near as much fun as it was off the air.
Is it ever?
Nope, never.
You can't recap. You can't bottle lightning, bro.
That's right. I told you I shot my wad in the pre-show. I'm
It's
done.
weird, man. It's Monday night at 7 o'clock. We're not supposed to be podcasting.
Gomer is going to go to sleep now.
My whole week is going to be off, but it's okay.
Yeah, it definitely feels odd.
It's worth it. It's the Monday night.
It's worth it to not have to do it by yourself.
It's the Monday.
Yeah.
Monday Night Nitro. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Monday Night Nitro, let's just go ahead and get into it.
Let's do that.
Let's talk about Adam Wade Adams. You got to explain yourself, bro.
Explain myself.
Yeah, what is up with your actions? You've been suspended by Viral Pro. That's hard to say. By Viral Pro.
By Viral Pro, yeah.
Should we just start off with the footage of what Adam did this past weekend?
You're a sick animal.
Sure.
Let's see.
I enjoyed watching it. It's pretty funny.
All right, here we go. Here we go. I can't get audio on it, but we'll just show.
I'll do play-by-play color.
Make your own sound effects. That's what I do.
Let's see what happens here.
Let's see. Maybe we can dub over it. It might be funny.
What is this?
Here, I should go to the live. Oh, there it is. What are you doing?
Why are you putting a steel chair over?
Lock it on
That's
yourself.
not how a person sits.
What is the deal? What is this?
Oh,
Everybody else
Everybody's
needs to stop
inventing the
talking.
chair.
yeah. Can you lock it on your screen?
I can't now because everybody's talking.
I think you should start it over.
Start it over. Well, that worked out well. All right. Let me switch back over.
Basically,
All right, here we go.
Adam tried to murder a human.
Now it's locked on me. Now it's locked on me.
Did you ever know that you're my hero?
All right,
This
now
was
you
your
gotta-
former tag team partner.
Yeah, he was annoying. All right, here we go. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Wait a crack.
His mother's in the audience. My baby boy.
What are you doing? Get out of here, you.
My
Stupid
baby
yellow
boy.
shirt. This is what you get for doing the yellow. Oh, poor. Oh.
Don't insult me. I'm Canadian, eh?
We got 7 in the
It
live
was a
chat.
pain in my neck, so I put a pain in his neck.
Oh, ew.
Yeah, we don't have to see that you got suspended. We know that. Why'd you
Yeah.
get suspended?
That guy's been against me since day one. So
That's what I always say about my boss too.
You know, he looks like Michael Roker.
the only thing he's
Damn,
missing,
son, you been doing damn shit. You got
Mary
suspended.
Poppins.
the only thing he's missing
I'm
is a
Mary
MAGA
Poppins,
hat.
For those that are listening in podcast form, this a couple weekends ago, Adam Wade Adams put a steel chair around his tag team partner's neck and proceeded to stomp on it. So
It was
Adam
aggressive.
was just
awesome.
trying
Hey.
to get that folding chair to fold correctly, but somebody's head was stuck there.
If you bring a snake into your house and it bites you, can you really be mad at the snake?
Are you
Yeah,
calling
it's
yourself a snake?
Ooh.
You look more like an asshole to me.
So if you bring an asshole into your house and it
Fair
bites
enough.
you,
This asshole's got teeth.
Dude, that's not funny.
like the Sarlacc pit.
Like the Sarlacc.
That's right.
Speaking of wrestling, Gomer,
And James Johnson was Boba Fett.
did you see that AEW is off to a horrible start for their first pay-per-view?
I did not see that. I hadn't heard that. I thought they were doing good.
I thought they were doing well too. TNT, contracts, some good talent. They got built excitement.
The main event was supposed to be Hangman Page versus Pac for the AEW heavyweight title. And supposedly the rumor going around is that Pac didn't want to do business because he's in Dragon Gate and it's something like he's undefeated for like 2 years or something. I don't know what it is. And the rumor is that he was fine losing to Page, but he didn't want to lose again down the line because of this whole thing. So now they're giving the main event took place. I think it's already happened and it's going to be on YouTube, I think tomorrow at like noon.
Wait, what?
Is that why I was hearing that? Because I did hear, like, I saw something that there would be free stuff, but then they were saying each service that the pay-per-view would be on, or there would be like free matches, varying free matches on different services.
Well, the reason they're doing this main event match is because Pac's now not coming to Vegas and he's not going to work for AEW unless it's a huge work and that's fine too. I don't know.
Well, that would be the way to go because that's exactly where I went. How do you screw up something that's been running so smoothly? Yeah, it's got to be a work, man. This is all bull crap.
Maybe. I guess
it's a great idea, really.
I don't know. I thought you think it's a great idea. Why is it a great idea? Now your main event's off.
In this day and age, when you hear of someone not doing business, it's such a foreign thing to hear because you thought that was just a thing of the past, that everyone everyone works for the betterment of the promotion of the show and of themselves.
But that's because we've got one wrestling company right now, and that's the WWE. Of course, everybody does business in the WWE. Where are they going to go?
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking WWE. I'm talking
at the bingo hall down the street.
Yeah.
The firehouse.
Yeah, it's
the Animal Expo.
You really don't hear, except recently there was a big to do. I don't know if y'all saw that, and Austin Aries tweeted at Frank Mir about it, where a guy basically went into business for himself and stretched and kind of beat on a guy, and the video went viral. And Austin Aries got a hold of it and retweeted it. I think it was X-Pac.
Oh, that dude that looked like a ripoff Brock Lesnar. I saw that.
Yeah. Oh, he was definitely. And I've met Jacob Ryan a few times. He's a great dude. Definitely did not deserve it. So
the guy that got shot on.
Yeah.
Well, he very clearly had no idea what he was doing.
Yeah, he. I don't know the guy that did the Brad Anderson or whatever his name is he is not for the few like the Carolinas, Georgia, and all of those areas. What that guy was doing is not how those guys work. So I don't know what he thought he was doing, if he was just stuck back in a bygone era and thought he was going to show this kid some.
From what I heard, of course, this is all this is internet talk, but what I heard was the dude that he beat up basically accidentally hurt the other guy's kid in a match.
Well, what they say is, and I read a little bit on it, is that Jacob Ryan clotheslined Brad Anderson's son, clotheslined him. And people say from watching it that the clothesline looked fine. And they're saying that off of the clothesline that he hurt his rib or his hand or something off of a clothesline, which tells me if the clothesline looked fine and was performed fine, then it was on the guy taking it.
Yeah, the way he took the bump, probably.
Or something like that.
What is this the podcast I always wanted? Am I finally getting a wrestling podcast?
It is.
Yeah.
Because I was going to talk about Money in the Bank next, but we can just skip that.
The no bump Money in the Bank match.
Speaking of Brock
Lesnar. What? The no bump Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
No bump Money in the Bank.
Where Brock Lesnar wins the match when everybody else put everything they had into that match, and Lesnar walks away with bull. Oh my God!
And everybody's talking about it.
Exactly, and everybody's talking about it.
I watched the match
problem,
on YouTube.
That's the problem,
You knew
dude.
when they announced that match and they put Ricochet in it and they put Finn Balor and Andrade in it, you knew they were going to take the crazy bumps. You knew Randy Orton's not going to do anything. I wasn't mad at it,
But
man. I
did
thought
they
it was
set up the match to do that, for people to talk about Lesnar going in, not doing a damn thing, and then winning when everybody else did so much? Is that the way they set up this match?
No, I don't think
To
they want.
get people to talk about it because it's so much bullcrap?
No,
Who is Kofi still
I don't
the
know.
champ?
I'm thinking that, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
That's
Kofi beat
exactly how they set
Kevin
it up.
So he's going to cash it back in to get
No,
his
who?
get his belt back.
I don't know if he'll cash it in there or probably against Rollins for the Universal title, if I was guessing.
And
Rollins.
this is a whole other universe I have
Yeah,
to
sorry, we got to move on. So I do
Shut
love
up,
talking
David.
about my. Hey, if anybody wants Boogie to start a wrestling podcast, just ask. Hit
We
me
should
up.
just move the other one like
Yeah.
I talked about inside baseball.
I can
Talk about
talk,
anything we want.
but I can talk about wrestling on there all day long. Then David's
All
just going to tell
day.
me to shut up on there
All day,
too.
David.
I didn't tell you to shut up.
He'll have to start watching the wrestling boards.
David's going to start a petition like these Game of Thrones idiots to get me kicked off my own network. My name is in the network.
All right, what Boogie's talking about?
Back to Minecraft with you, Boogie.
Yeah, there's a petition that I think 100,000, a million, a lot. There's a
It's
lot
up to 1 million now. Yeah.
for HBO to rewrite and reshoot, re-edit, I guess at the very least, season 8 of Game of Thrones,
And
Which is
HBO
just
will get right on
stupid.
it.
which is just stupid. All right,
I think the bigger petition is now that Game of Thrones is done, people are going to be ending their subscriptions to HBO.
no, that Watchmen show's right around the corner. They're spinning off Game of Thrones into shows that'll be, watchable. There's
I
so-
don't know. Ever
I
since
still
AT&T
like
bought Time Warner, I don't think so.
I don't know.
They-
People can gripe all they want about Game of Thrones. Gripe about anything that you love, but geez, art is not a democracy. You don't get to vote
Yeah.
on art.
No art for you.
You're
what do they
voting.
think? What do
You're
they think?
voting for art is watching it or not. And I'm sorry, the last episode of Game of Thrones had the highest ratings of any HBO show ever,
How many
including
people?
the Sopranos finale.
How many people get mad at stuff like that because the outcome is not what they wanted it to be?
Exactly. People get
Exactly.
so invested. They adore these characters. They want to see their favorite characters win and have an ending that is satisfying. So they get invested. And that's exactly what these creators want. They want you to have a sense of ownership, but it's just a sense of ownership. You don't own any of this.
Not
It happens
actual
with
ownership.
everything, and it's dangerous. It's expectations. When you set your expectations are set so high, the art itself, whatever it is, wrestling, comics, movies, TV shows, the Guns N' Roses album.
Yeah.
No,
No, he's not wrong. He's
Yeah,
not wrong.
no,
it's
you're not
so
wrong.
high.
But it's
the
still-
art itself can't meet those expectations, no matter what it does. It's doomed. It is doomed.
I think that you're exactly right. That people doom themselves into hating something before that something is even actually created. After 7 seasons of a show, everyone had these expectations, and it was never going to meet everybody's, appeal. the
Well, I think
quality
a big problem is
assurance that they have.
what you just said is everybody has their favorite characters. So no matter what the writers did, it was going to be impossible to satisfy everybody.
Sure.
It's just
And-
like wrestling, just like wrestling. I
And
mean,
you
listen
have
to
no
listen
idea
to
what
you
happened
said
to you,
about
Boogie.
Brock Lesnar. No, I don't want to know what happened.
Okay. See, that's the bad thing. We really can't talk much about it because you haven't seen it.
No, we don't
can't
need
spoil it.
spoilers, though. I mean,
I
know
went on.
what
I didn't
happened,
even
but-
watch it. I went on YouTube, got the cliff notes. I'm good. I don't want to watch it.
I haven't
I'm
seen
fine.
it, so I'm in the same.
But
boat
have you
as
watched?
Boogie.
Have you watched any of it, Adam?
Yes.
Of
Yeah.
this season?
and
No.
I watched 3 episodes. The 3 episodes of this last season, and then these last 3 episodes. After that, I just thought, you know what? I just find out the cliff notes of what happened, and I'm fine.
Yeah. After I watched a lot of the first season, maybe all of it, I don't remember. But from what I remember of the characters and what I've read of this last season, everything seems to be okay. I mean, I guess the characters went to different places while I was away, and that's fine. But again, I don't
There's
I don't
a
have
YouTube.
expectations. I just want to be entertained.
There's a
exactly.
YouTube channel.
That's what people need to just settle down. Just settle down. And if you don't like it, don't watch it.
But it's a two-way street because the creators want their audience to be invested like that. They want them to love it so much and have that sense of ownership. But then it's a double-edged sword because
it's like if people were mad because the episodes weren't good, that's one thing. But people were complaining every single episode of season 8
about the story.
So were they mad? Were they mad about they were bad episodes, or were they mad because their characters didn't do what they wanted?
There's a YouTube channel. There's a YouTube channel. I watched the video. I think it's called the YouTube channel is called Think Story.
Beep. We don't plug other podcasts here.
No, but they went through it and it made sense. Why a lot of people are angry is that the actions in the story do not match up to the characters, because they're saying just a couple episodes ago this character was doing this, and now
they were wrong.
Now all of a sudden they're doing this, or they said they made this choice, and it's like it makes no sense for this character.
Well, then don't they have to go back and re-examine their perception of what they thought they knew about the character? And then if that doesn't work, then you may possibly have a debatable gripe. But
well, it's like I
don't.
Have you ever been watching? Have you ever been watching a show and you're just like, nobody would do that, not even in this person's mindset.
Man, there are a lot of people around be carrying this gun in the hospital.
Why would they do that?
I watch Supernatural. So yeah, every other episode, there's like, man, what is going on?
And
I get it.
I feel like Game of Thrones was kind of with the 6 episodes they were rushed. I don't think they had any easy way out of the whole thing,
except to go on and on and on forever, like a soap opera, because that's what this was. It's a soap opera, and you don't have Guiding Light that's been on for 50 freaking years to pan out who's in a wheelchair and who's got amnesia and who's banging whose cousin. You just don't.
Sounds like wrestling.
It is. Wrestling is so soap opera, dude. It is. It's really just.
Now where are you going to get your nudity?
Now, as the world turns.
Yeah. Where am I going to get my fantasy nudity with dragons?
Dude, aren't they coming back with another a prequel?
I think 2 shows are spinning off.
I saw a bunch of people saying they weren't going to watch it because they were so upset.
Please don't. No, and that is very valid. If you're not satisfied by a property, stop.
They'll be right there, front. They'll be right.
Yeah,
coming from the guy that's still reading Transformers.
I do it for the podcast. It's the only reason I do it.
Okay.
Getting blood punishment now.
Yeah, if you don't like it, move on. And these people complaining about the show, maybe try the books.
Yeah, right. Come on.
When are the books going to be finished? Right when Doomsday Clock gets done?
Well, I'm sure most of the people complaining haven't even read book 1, so they can start there.
Or they could be like Josh Hott, a friend of myself and Adam Wade Adams. All that guy's done since they started Game of Thrones. I read the books. I know more than you. Cool. Congratulations.
I feel about
that was until about 2 seasons ago.
And if you still have HBO and you haven't started watching, watch Barry.
I heard Barry was good.
It's a fantastic show. Watch Barry.
Yeah, I heard it was good.
What else do I have here for you? I wanted to get your
Donnie Cates got engaged. If I could just say, Donnie Cates, congrats to Donnie Cates, y'all. He got married or engaged to his longtime girlfriend, Megan Hutchison. So congratulations to both of them.
I now pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. Y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, she does something in comics, writing, art, something.
Well, they have their own cult too, but that's another.
They do. Cheers to Comics, a single podcast. I think he's actually the one who told me what Donnie Cates' army is called, which is
Cult of Cates, right?
Oh, I think it's got some weird.
Oh, it's the Cult of Cates, I thought.
Oh, is it?
Maybe I'm wrong.
It's called Every Kiss Begins with Cates, and
what's up, y'all? Every kiss begins with Cates.
I won't tell you what you got to do to join.
He went to Jared.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. Congrats to Donnie Cates, y'all.
On that note, let's talk about the Advocates.
That's right.
Hell's Advocates.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I remember him asking on Twitter, let's come up with a name.
Yeah, I remember all that too.
And it was not great.
Oh, thank you. Cheers to Comics.
Yeah, that is not a great.
Yeah,
he's
Barry
gonna-
is the best.
Devil.
gonna-
Okay, we'll read everything you say. Just keep typing. We'll read every name that you give us.
Devil
Oh man.
advocates.
He is gonna
y'all.
hate my opinion on the War of the Realms.
The
book this week.
avocados.
Oh boy, I can't wait to get there. I wanted to get y'all's opinion on Sparkly Batman. You guys mad?
Oh, don't say that, dude.
I'm okay.
Oh,
with-
Adam's all for it.
I'm okay with Pattinson. If I could
He's
just
done
say,
other stuff besides
Exactly.
Twilight.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
he
so
was
sorry.
Cedric freaking Diggory, y'all. He's already a
Yeah.
hero in my heart.
He is an actor.
The best comment I saw about it was somebody being dead serious. He will be a great Batman. He looks great. All he'll need to do is put on 30 to 40 pounds of muscle because
it.
that's easy. Yeah, that's cakewalk. I can do that.
In
I think
Hollywood,
really-
it
I
is
think
kind of
he's.
easy.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think he's a good
bullcrap.
choice. I just think he's a little young or
Chris
young
Pratt had to
appearing.
do it.
Dude, yeah, if they're paying you, because how long is filming? 6 to 8 weeks? Even if it's 10 weeks, they're paying him a lot of money.
And,
He can
and,
get in the
dare you
gym
to
for a
say-
month.
and
Oh,
I
okay.
think they're looking for the long run with him too, since he's still young. But I mean, I liked Ben Affleck, but
I did too, man.
but his Batman was an old, past his prime Batman.
And it worked for the story they were telling.
Yeah, but you can't do much
Even if
more
the story didn't work.
unless you're going to get into the McGinnis Batman Beyond storyline. You can't do much
Ooh.
more with him.
That's what they should do, but they should bring back, what's his name, 89, Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be actually.
Oh,
good.
that'd be
Anyway.
awesome.
He can't
everybody
do that.
always-
He's busy
right.
being the vulture.
Everybody always gripes about Batman.
He's lived long enough to see himself become the villain.
Dude, they griped about Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Oh, she's too thin. She'll never be a good Wonder Woman.
Remember when Chris said she needs to eat a sandwich?
Yeah, remember Homeboy Shazam, Homeboy? Everybody hated him. That movie is one of the most beloved DC movies, recorded. Even Ryan Reynolds was a damn good Green Lantern,
Yep.
even though that movie was trash.
That movie was terrible.
But I mean, people just need to get over it, dude.
Everyone has
These
an
are
opinion.
fictional characters.
Fictional.
I just
Fictional
want to see somebody put on
characters.
40 pounds of muscle in a month. I'm going to start a GoFundMe for you. And if you can do it, we're going to give you the money.
Just steaks and eggs, man.
It's even with steroids, that's not easy.
Steroids
Steroids don't just magically put muscle on your body. You got to put the work in.
I'm mainly concerned, or not concerned, but interested in, like, we haven't heard anything about villains or anything. So
I've
I'm
heard
wondering who
there's
they're
gonna be 6 different villains for this.
No
movie.
way. No.
No,
That's the rumor right now.
Batman. He's not Spider-Man.
No, they have, right? That's the rumor right now. That is 6 different villains. The Catwoman, they said, and also Penguin. Josh Gad has said that he wants to play Penguin. He'd be great at it. Also, since the Pattinson rumor came, they want Kristen Stewart as Catwoman,
No.
which is just weird to me. to
Yeah,
have
that's
that
too
happen.
far. That's too
Yeah.
far.
Yeah. I would prefer.
but it's all
do
rumor
so
right
do you
now.
think this is going to be more superhero-y or grounded?
I don't know, man. There's with
6
Matt
villains,
Reeves-
it's going to be more superhero.
yeah, with Matt Reeves directing, I think it's going to be a whole lot more like comic booky and superhero-y. Not as much, I don't think, as whatever, like the 80s ones with what's his name doing it, Beetlejuice dude doing it. But
Michael
Burton?
Keaton, yeah.
yeah, Tim Burton. I know not Michael Keaton, but although he was in
6
director.
villains. Imagine if they're redoing the campy Batman.
Dude, that would be cool where everyone
Yeah.
turns to dust.
He's running around with the bomb.
Yeah, and the shark repellent, dude.
Oh,
I
then
would
they
be
set up
okay
the
with that.
rehydrator.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Not like a shot for shot remake, but to keep like some of that campiness. Look at what is winning for DC. It's Aquaman with octopuses playing drums, and it's Shazam, which is, I'm sorry, it's campy. It's campy in the best possible way, but it's campy. And I'm okay with them going in that direction.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Running around. There was so much cool stuff going on. Around every corner, there were great activities that Batman could have gotten involved in.
We have a lot. People just need to kind of. I kind of wish people would just, when they announce it, just kind of went, oh, okay, I'll wait till I hear more.
That's what I've got to do, man.
Adopting a wait and see policy.
I'll openly admit that I saw everybody complaining. I just saw people complaining about Batman, and I was like, "Here we go again." Everybody complaining. Everybody complaining.
Complained about Heath Ledger, and Heath Ledger's Joker was pretty damn awesome.
Then I saw who it was, and I said, "This is ridiculous."
That's all anybody says. I even challenged the guy. I got it. I was like,
did you put him in a chair too?
Yeah, we saw what happened to that poor guy.
It was like, what do you think of something? I'm like, it's all right. I mean, he's an actor. It'll be fine. They're like, really? And I was thinking, well, what are you basing it off of? He's like, Twilight. I was like, exactly.
He's been in
done
other
things.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the
Michael.
guy.
Michael Keaton did Crazy Beetlejuice before he became Batman.
He was Mr. Freaking Mom.
He was Mr. Mom.
Dude.
He did Batman.
He's also my Batman, so shut your mouth.
Yeah, he's my Batman too.
We got 9. We got 9 in the live
But the thing with
chat.
Michael Keaton is he already had a working relationship with Tim Burton.
I would hate for you to let me get that plug in there real quick, but we got 9 in the live chat. Everybody do us a favor, back out, jump over, hit that like button, and share out the link. If we get a big enough crowd, maybe we'll do these things on Monday night. I don't know. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Tim Burton.
Okay.
Michael
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger got drop kicked in Africa. That was dope.
I saw that video and laughed. I couldn't help myself.
He barely felt it, man. It was
He
so
got
great.
straight up got double dragon drop kick. Who does that kick?
It was awesome. We do have to. I will mention though, what is up with people thinking it's okay to hit old people? Bret Hart last month, Arnold Schwarzenegger this month. Who's next month? Everybody put a protective circle around Ric Flair. Because I don't think he could take it.
There was a video of a guy an older guy on the bus. Some woman was on there just cussing out everybody. And the old, I mean, he was elderly, told the lady that she needed to be nicer. And when the bus stopped, he was going to get off. She just straight up shoved him.
That dude died.
Yeah, he died.
What? She's got murder charges, dude.
And now she's got murder charges. I hope they lock away the key or throw away the key and
give her the chair.
She has a kid, custody of the state, put him to work.
Wait, you lost me at the end there.
This is getting weird.
And you make me the bad guy sometimes.
Dude, go into the chat. I wouldn't mind.
I just have good ideas.
I wouldn't mind Zac Efron as Batman either. I'll be honest. I watched Baywatch over the weekend, and yeah, he's okay. I honestly think he'd make a better Robin.
Yeah.
But
they wouldn't have to build abs into the bat suit.
Dude, no, I know, right? Dude's super hot. It was either him or CJ. I couldn't keep my eyes off either of them in that movie.
They got a lot of
Baywatch movie. That's a good movie.
It's great. The uncut version is the best.
It's so funny.
Port in the chat says Spawn 300 coming out. How many covers announced? And are you guys getting those variants? Adam, are you picking up Spawn 300?
I am. I've already asked them to. I think I asked them to pull $299 and $300 for me.
I haven't seen any variants. I know there's going to be a lot.
I hadn't seen any. I just asked them to pull it.
The only cover I've seen is the homage cover of McFarlane homaging himself on Spider-Man 300, which I think is very apropos. Very, very nice.
You mean the homage?
When does that come out? When does 300 come out?
A few months, I think.
Should my first Spawn book ever be Spawn number 300? That'd be a great review.
Yeah,
I'll take the lead on it. Don't worry, David.
It's still.
Well, I'll tell you this much about Spawn 300. The guy that does the interior art for that book, actually, I went to high school with.
He's actually, as far as I know, not working on Spawn 300. Greg Coppola is taking over interiors.
Well, who wasn't he up? Wasn't he doing it on like 298?
He's doing it on every other one. What's his name? He's got 3 of them.
Jason Sean Alexander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime you bring up anything to do with this guy, Dave's like, "Oh, I knew this guy."
Yeah, well, I went to school with a guy that worked on Avatar, so
that's
take
right.
That.
There you go.
Gomer loves that story,
dude.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, I went to school.
Congratulations. Hey, if you graduated high school in Gomer's house, he beats the hell out of you.
That's right.
I went to school with a guy who would drive me around, and we would go to behind businesses and take stuff for backyard wrestling.
Kayfabe, bro.
Sorry.
Every time we drive through that area, I'm always like, yeah, me and Adam used to steal stuff from over there. Why'd you steal it? So we could throw each other through it in the backyard.
Oh, A-Port's heard that Jim Lee's going to do a Spawn cover for 300. Dude, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a whole lot of covers for that thing.
There'll be 300 covers.
I don't
Do you think it'll still be $2.99? I guess I could look it up and see.
Yeah, probably, unless it's extra big, but I don't think that's something they would do. I think they're just going to do a regular standard issue, and
that blows my mind.
That's the only comic book that's $2.99.
Yeah.
No, Scooby-Doo at DC is still $2.99.
Why it lasts.
And there's another one. Now, not that Scooby Apocalypse, just the Scooby-Doo comic that follows like the show.
The DC gimmick of having the bi-weekly comics that were $2.99 went out the window, and that shot my pull list through the roof.
At least the cost of
Drawing a line at $2.99.
Yeah, I mean, I always defended
that's been like 10 years ago now.
Yeah, Dwayne's always like, yeah, they are $2.99, but you're also basically paying $6 a month instead of
right. Jay Nunya in the chat said Spawn's 300 is going to be 75 pages.
So probably expect a little more then.
So probably like $6, maybe $7.
Yeah. How much is that per ounce?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know what they should? You know what they should do is I wish they would have a cover of the of like all the young original Image guys, Jim Lee, Liefeld, and all them, but they'd be on the cover arguing with each other back in their younger days. That would be a cool.
They'd have like a laugh
every day is
a
a
laugh
younger
supper
day.
kind of artwork.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Writing it for him.
David would love it if Liefeld would do a cover for this thing.
Yeah, you can go
no feet on that Spawn.
A-Port says
got a lot of pouches.
Probably a Larson cover. I'd love a Larson cover.
Yeah, right.
Larson's cover, yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Ooh, or a Keith, Sam Keith cover would be cool.
A-Port says at least it's not $10 like Detective 1000, but what's Marvel 1000 going to be?
$10. We don't know yet.
I'm thinking $15.99.
I'm thinking $12.99, $13.
10,000 pennies.
We're up to 10. We're up to 10 people in the live chat, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, share out the link. Let's grow this thing. We're double digits. That makes me happy.
Hooray!
Any other news? Or are we going to talk about some comic books?
We can touch real quick on Rosenberg doing an adaptation for 4 Kids Walk in a Bank.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have read that. 4 Kids Walk into a Bank. I'll have to get you a copy. It's very good. It's on Black Mask Studios.
Black Mask Studios. And
it got picked up, I think, by Paramount to do a movie. And yeah, Rosenberg's been tapped to do the screenplay of it.
It's
that's
less than 5 feet away from me right now. Great story, man. Yeah, it's a great story.
Is great.
Good. Yeah.
Did you ever read We Can Never Go Home?
I didn't read that when you guys were talking about that. I didn't read that.
I don't think I finished it. So we're still not going to get that 4 Kids sequel this year.
What is Rosenberg going to do after X-Men with Marvel?
I don't care.
I mean, he's still got Punisher going on.
People are all like,
he tweeted out about Punisher saying that he's got some good stuff coming down the line with it too. So
it's one of my favorite Marvel books. Punisher.
I was really starting to wonder, is it just going to kind of wrap and just be done? I don't know how it's selling. I don't look at the sales numbers.
He's going to do 4 mutants walk into Genosha.
Yeah.
All
right. Rosenberg, the reason Boogie is asking is because he's going to be off of the Uncanny X-Men book once Hickman takes over for Hawks and Pox in July. That's House of X Powers of 10. And then after that, it's been announced since we've last recorded that Hickman will be doing an ongoing, and he will be sort of the showrunner, sort of like how Donny Cates Y'all is the showrunner for all the cosmic stuff, and everything goes through Guardians of the Galaxy. Hickman will be the showrunner for the mutants, and everything will run through his main flagship title, which means Rosenberg is off. But Rosenberg knew this a year ago when all of it got started, that this was already planned, that Hickman was going to do this.
But
So
we didn't know it.
Bad.
I feel bad because we didn't know it. And this is where I side with David on his stance with Marvel, because as a non-X-Men guy, this pisses me off, man, because I talked about it over and over and over. This is the perfect point for me to try to jump on the X-Men, right? And, you know, Rosenberg's using so many characters. I don't know who half these people are, but I'm invested. I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to ride it out through Uncanny X-Men.
That was a mistake.
10 weeks in a row, right? I'm riding it out, and there's been some good issues, man. And now it's like, okay, none of that matters. And that's what they said when Rosenberg took over. All of your X-Men is going to be in one book, and the universe will never be the same. And maybe I'm just gullible, but it pisses me off because now you want me to do it again? Because now I don't even want to read. It's because it's Hickman. I want to give it a chance.
Exactly. If this was anyone else but Hickman, I would be like, no, I'd feel exactly like you. I still am exactly like you. I'm mad at Marvel for saying they're going to do one thing, promoting it like it's a brand new thing, knowing full well that this is a temporary thing. That's very upsetting. But yeah, if it was anybody else but Hickman, I would not be picking this up. I'd be done with X-Men for another run. But because it is Hickman, I'm so invested. Every issue of Uncanny that comes out is like I'm one step closer to Hawks and Pox, man.
So what's it going to be? The
Cheers the Comic says Uncanny is being done dirty.
It's
absolutely right.
The two titles, it's going to be 2 6-issue miniseries, and they're going to basically alternate every week, right? So you're looking at 12 issues weekly. It's the same damn thing repeated.
It is. You're absolutely right.
What's it going to be after that? Monthly or bi-weekly? Do we know?
We don't know anything.
We don't know.
We don't know anything yet.
Do you think the Major X book was gauging interest in that style?
I don't think the Major
X, as far as the art and story.
No, I don't think the Major X book is nothing more than Liefeld fan service,
and going to go out the window as soon as it's over.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There are fans of that creator, so yeah, do a fan service for those people who are going to buy that comic. That's all.
He's not Voldemort. You can say his name.
I think that's your X-Men fans now, though, are the people who grew up with that Jim Lee cover, with that when that X-Men hit back in the speculatory market, back in that time. I think that's what people grew up with, and I think that nostalgia is what they're wanting, is that style X-Men, maybe.
Well, Hickman, if he can do anything, he can hopefully be able to appeal to both parties, the old school folks who want to see that stuff and the new people who have no clue what's going on, and then every fan in between. It's going to be difficult to say, man. They're really touting this as a total rebranding, not a relaunch, but they're going to delve back into history and change that history. All I can say is I have full faith and confidence in the writer known as Jonathan Hickman.
I
never dealt me wrong. Never.
Whatever it's going to be a brand new day, but with X-Men.
Chris Garcia says that he feels duped and that he was even into some of the Age of X-Men books. And then Comics Miss Explained says that he thinks Hickman is going to mold this so it fits into the MCU, which
I think that's perfect.
That is probably 100% accurate.
Well, that's what I was about to say, is what he's saying is that, but I almost would say that it's going to be rebooted again once, because I bet even if they went to whoever's in charge of that, like, what are y'all planning on doing with the MCU and X-Men and all that, so that we can direct the comics that way? I bet they're not going to tell them anything, or they might not even know. So it's probably going to get rebooted again.
It's always likely. I mean, you're talking about a book that was just rebooted within the past 8 months. That's going to be rebooted again. So, I mean, I'm not going to take anything off the table. I think it all depends on how Hickman's treatment is, received by the fans. And for the first 2 months, at least, X-Men will yet again be in the top 10.
They just need to bring in Garth Ennis and let him do X-Men.
I think that's what pisses me off. That's what pisses me off too, is we're not talking about some book that nobody reads.
Yeah.
It's like them rebooting the Captain Marvel 17 times and nobody's buying it. Or they're rebooting West Coast Avengers and nobody's buying it. And so they restart it, and the same creative team. This is the freaking X-Men.
Exactly.
This is a big deal. So rebooting it so quick is just frustrating.
that's not frustrating to me as much as the fact that Marvel knew they were going to reboot it when they rebooted it.
Yeah.
That's what really pisses me off. And again, if it was anybody else but Hickman, I know I'm on the Hickman knob here and I can't help myself. He's just so
slobbering
good.
on that knob,
I
huh?
can't help it, dude. He's never dealt me dirt, and I can't wait.
Thinking about Zac Efron and talking about
Yeah.
Hickman's making me uncomfortable.
You just look up with a smile, don't you, Gomer?
Smile and wave, boy.
So hot.
Smile and wave.
So hot.
Hickman and a smile.
Oh.
Gomer eats his corn on the cob like a corn dog. Let's talk.
Exactly. See, I'm
Let's
not the
talk
only one.
about some comic books. We're gonna blow
Do
through
we
these.
have to?
We don't have to.
Do we really? It wasn't really.
Boogie.
All right.
Sorry.
We can talk about something else. I don't care.
The first book on the chopping block tonight,
This should be interesting.
War of the Realms, number 4. This is chapter 4, The Stand at the Black Bridge. Writing by Jason Aaron. Art by Russell Dauterman. Colorist was Matthew Wilson. The letterer here was VC's Joe Sabino.
Thank you, Joe.
Joey Sabino. The music video of a comic book event series continues to move so rapidly from one scene to another without actually telling much of a story. We get a whole lot of glimpses into everything else that's going on in this event in 1,000 other books that are tying into it. But all we really get here is some cool Odin Iron Man armor, all Mother Freya being a badass again, and Thor coming back, which was weird because I don't remember that happening in issue number 3. When I last left Thor, he was in some sort of primal berserker rage. And then a pivotal point in this seems that Thor is back, but we didn't actually see him come back. He's just sort of standing there. So whatever. I guess I should have been reading one of the tie-ins to know what actually happened to this pivotal thing.
I've read a
in
lot
this
of tie-ins,
main book.
and I didn't see it happen.
I think the biggest thing to note in this issue was the 2-page splash at the end of the book that was promoting 20 more tie-ins for the month of May. So I guess as big events go, this is okay. I'm just not really a fan.
Oh man, you're turning heel on it all of a sudden. You've been liking it.
It sucks.
My gosh, you need to go back and listen to the previous podcast. You didn't say it sucked.
I shouldn't have to. All right, there was a point in the DC event called Blackest Night where the whole Rainbow team got together. They did that in a book that was not Blackest Night. It went from Blackest Night, like issue number 6, there was no team. In Blackest Night, issue number 7, there was a team all ready to fix the problem. Same thing happened in this. Thor coming back was a huge point of this event, but yet it didn't happen in the event.
We see the team escaping from Jotunheim, but we don't see how Thor was brought back to.
Here's another point along that same train of thought. Comics Misexplained says, how about the Venom symbiote looking full-bodied, and then when he gets kidnapped, he's all gooey? That happened in Strike Force: The War Avengers. He got stabbed by Malekith, and it was in the tie-in.
But you're saying that like, oh, duh, you should have spent the extra $20 to know what happened.
Oh, I didn't say it that way. I just said it follows exactly your train of thought. You're reading the main book and you're like, what the heck happened here?
Exactly. That is my problem, man. I don't know what's happening here.
And we know that Boogie likes maps.
I do. I love that map. I really like it.
You gotta spend $75 a week to read it all.
So it's like Odin Borson. And when I see that, my mouth immediately wants to say Roy Orbison.
Dude, come on. That was the part of the book you liked?
Dude, that's a dope panel.
Hold that back up, Adam. Hold that back up.
This isn't what I liked.
That's what Gomer liked. I think that looks so goofy and like, what is the, oh my gosh, really?
I like the idea that Odin needed some Iron Man armor.
I thought he was going to come out with this cool sword or something rad, and I'm the Iron Allfather. It's like, really?
So is this like a Loki homage or something?
No, it's like his
armor.
That
makes even less sense.
No, his Odin's like, I think traditional helm does have big horns like that.
Yeah, does he want like Kid Rock music? I am a bull god.
Wow,
that's where your mind went.
Yeah, that's even like a vague for the Kid Rock fans.
Roy
Anyway,
Orbison.
yeah, I don't know.
Only the lonely.
Blah. There's still 2 issues of this left. I know I said I was gonna hang out, Boog, but I think I'm done.
Dude, you're reading it. Shut up.
I think I'm done, dude.
2 issues.
Tight, though.
They've really dealt me bad, man. They really did.
You're
bad.
to the good part now, baby. It's the
How
comeback.
is it the good part? The end?
They made the hot tag to Thor, and he's coming back to wreck shop, man.
I don't know, man. All right. In what book? In which tie-in do I have to read to watch Thor wreck shop?
It's gonna.
You let me know, and I'll buy it the week after.
I would argue with you, but you're right. I don't know. But I still like this, man. I expected to hate it. I still like it.
When your Marvel books are just layered in footnotes. This happened in blah blah blah. This happened in blah blah blah.
No,
Dude,
what was
this
the
is
footnote? What was the footnote in this one? It was. I can't. I may be thinking about the book of the week.
If you're watching like a TV show, right, and like the first 2 minutes are like, here's your recap. This feels like it's the recap for 30 different shows that are happening in other books.
Also, you gotta watch
this shit too, Gomer. No, I'm not doing it.
It's like
I'm not doing
Pokemon.
it.
You gotta
Screw you, Marvel. I'm done with you.
This
and
is
your
why I
stupid event.
spent $95 at the comic
Exactly,
shop this
dude.
week. Just
I
this
spent like $15, $13.
You spent what? 15?
Like,
But you read every one you bought.
Yeah,
I'm still not done.
So there you go.
I like
There's your,
I like this event, but what's the last event that was better than this? When was the last time you liked an event?
Oh my gosh.
was it? I mean, was it Hydra Cap?
No,
I
I didn't like that.
I like that one. I thought I was the only one that liked Civil War 2.
That event. No one likes Civil War 2.
I like Civil War 2 and Secret Empire both.
I liked it through the
Apocalypse.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I'll go.
The second Spider-Verse event was good. That recent one, it was good.
Yeah. You were tying
garbage. It's better than this garbage.
Oh my gosh, you've turned heel. You've turned heel on me.
I shouldn't have to read tie-ins to enjoy an event.
Put a chair around the neck of your comic book and stomp on it too.
Yeah, wipe my ass with War of the Realms #4. There's your War of the Realms #4 review, everyone.
We're polar opposites. Anybody else have an opinion besides me and Gomer? The strong opinion.
It's getting to a point where there's just so much going on.
But there's really nothing going on.
I was gonna say I don't think that.
Visually, there's like it's like this. I like the image of the ice giant on the Statue of Liberty. I thought that
was the best page of the whole book. I thought.
Yeah.
I kind of I don't know.
My gosh, Jeremy Massey is in the freaking live chat. What's up, Jeremy Massey?
And there's some good stuff going on. The Daredevil having the Boromir stuff. I love that, dude.
Heimdall
stuff. Love that.
I like the
All Mother Freya. That's dope. That's cool.
I think the stuff with Freya and Odin both has been good. Freya's all over the place.
Odin's been sick the whole time.
Yeah, but coming back, dude, they're like.
But you just griped about his stupid armor.
That's the one part I didn't like, man. Calm down. Jeez.
I like saying Jotunheim.
Cheers to Comics says this is Freya's story. I agree 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Freya really stole the book.
Comics Misexplained wants to know when the next Talking Balls is.
When softball season starts. That's our next.
Oh, God.
Ball softball.
Miserable Tennessee fan. I was there live for that SEC championship, and it was embarrassing. But that's another podcast.
All together.
Back in the fall.
Wait, what'd that cup say?
I did. It was SEC championship game. Not like you know what that means. I read the tie-in that I was talking about, the Strike Force War Avengers from Dennis Hallam, and the biggest thing I took away from that was the way he wrote Captain Marvel. Like I loved Captain Marvel in that book. Too many people write Captain Marvel and nobody buys her comic books because she's unstoppable. She shows up and it's girl power and she stomps everybody. And she never gets beat down, man. And in this, she had a line. I've got it in my notes here. Let me find it. She said, a soldier's job isn't always about winning. Sometimes it's about losing slowly, holding the line.
Nice.
And she knows that she is in a fight that she can't win. And you know what that does? She's a leader in that book, man. She is leading by example. And oh man, as I'm reading it, I'm like, this is the Captain Marvel I want to read about. I don't want to read about Captain Marvel that shows up and is like, this is easy. And it's over.
Shows up and flies through spaceships.
Put her through some adversity, man. That's what makes a good hero.
In Strike Force, I'm digging that Deadpool mech.
Oh, did you read the War Avengers?
I picked it up, but since I wasn't going to do the review for it, I just kind of was thumbing through it and reading some stuff about it.
Is he called Mechpool? If not, then they're missing out.
Yep. Mechpool.
I thought it was a good issue. It's all of the Strike Force ties are kind of. I guess you see little things like the Venom thing. Yeah. I don't know when Thor came back, but
this is them taking a 5-issue miniseries and stretching it out into like 100 issues.
I just wonder how, like the Thor number 12 didn't really tie in at all. Like it was what happened to Loki after the fact, but you don't need that. To me, something you need in the story should be in the main story. I agree with you 100% on that.
And Thor is definitely that. He seems to be the hinge point of the whole thing. We got to get Thor back so we can win.
Your key to victory is getting Thor.
Yeah, I mean, you saw that at the end, right? When he comes back,
Yeah,
and only one person can lead this team.
And he's got, he used to have a gold arm. Now he's got a silver arm.
I think that's the arm from the Destroyer.
Yeah, that's the Destroyer arm.
I didn't see that happen. I just saw the arm.
Well, and when Heimdall and Daredevil and Jane Foster and the Destroyer are defending the Bifrost, you only see that the Destroyer has one arm.
And that happened in this book.
That the Destroyer's had an arm since I've noticed it since the previous issue. The Destroyer's only had one arm.
So what book did he lose the arm in?
I don't know. I don't follow Marvel that well.
Last time I saw the Destroyer, Kid Loki or whatever was inside him.
Yeah, what was that in? As Guardians of the Galaxy.
But in War of the Realms 3, when Daredevil's using that all-seeing sight to see what's going on, standing guard at the Rainbow Bridge is the Destroyer, and he only has the one arm.
Do you know what we need? We need one of those investigative rooms that has the yarns going across
each
point.
And I don't know where David Icke and the reptile people come in, but they play a deal somehow.
Jeremy Massey wants Kid Loki inside him. Oh man, you want to move on?
Yeah,
I put this next one.
Depending on which way those horns are going, you may need lube.
He's tough. He's the butcher, man. He can take it. Actually, he's not the butcher.
Boogie, before we move on, can you explain Venom again? In Cullen Bunn's Venom, Brock got a magic suit, but I'm pretty sure the symbiote is running solo in the War of the Realms.
All I'm talking about is in the what was it called? The War Avengers tie-in. Venom was in that, and Malekith has, I don't even know what kind of sword because I don't know all this crap.
He's got the Black Knight sword.
And when he stabbed him, it basically melted him into nothing. So I don't know.
It's just the symbiote then. It's not
because
Brock in there.
That's what
Venom was running around and he tried to bond with an ice giant.
Well, isn't Brock in the Carnage book coming up? Is that happening the same time?
Now you're getting into a whole other issue with Marvel because he's talking Comics Misexplained talking about Savage Avengers. It's like who's what and what's going on in the actual Donny Cates Venom book. I've only read the first I don't know,
the
5
Donny
or 6
Cates
issues.
Venom book has stopped and Cullen Bunn has taken over for 2 issues.
Whatever that Web of Venom or whatever Carnage book coming up, or maybe the
Absolute Carnage is an event coming up, right?
Yeah, and I think
a bunch of tie-ins too.
Brock is in that. I think Brock is the one actually in that. If it's the same continuity.
Let's move on.
Sorry, Comics Misexplained. I don't have answers.
We have no clue.
I'm only reading one of the 18 Venom stories. I can't answer that.
This event is too complex for one podcast to fully get a handle on.
This is what Wikipedia is for.
This next book I put on the list, but I didn't read it because I was on vacation reading stuff from 2004. Sorry.
You didn't miss much.
Is this my book?
It is.
It's your turn, bro. This is what I go over in the rundown that I skipped this week. But you got it.
Jay Nunny in the chat. I think.
You skip the rundown like you skipped this book, right, bro?
Yeah, I think the Absolute Carnage event is happening just as War of the Realms ends here in another month or 6 weeks or so. Anyway, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I love the interaction in the live chat. We'll interrupt the podcast anytime for you guys. We got 12 in the live chat. If you haven't done so, jump over, hit that like button, and share out the link on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you get social with.
You know why they're here? Because when I sent out my
because it's Monday night.
Well, when I sent out my broadcast, I said I was going to derail this thing.
You say that every week. How is that
or
different?
Just do it without warning?
That's better. Never make a threat. Just carry it out.
Fair enough.
Last stop on the red line.
Last stop on the red line. That old song, everybody knows it, sung by Roy Orbison. This book written by Paul Mayberry, art by Sam Lofty and John Rausch, lettering by Adam Pruitt. This is a Dark Horse book. I put that down so I could remind myself that it wasn't Image. I have to do that.
I like that you put your notes off to the side. That way we can't see you reading them directly. It's great.
Well, I don't have a teleprompter, Boogie.
See, I do.
You need. That's
you
what
can see.
need.
You can see my eyes roll when I'm reading, so it's all good.
We can't see your mouth.
I'm like Wilson, bro.
Yeah, it could be someone off to the side talking for you. We have no idea.
Boogie's the master ventriloquist. He can throw.
You can't speak. You don't even have a camera. Shut up.
All right, so I'll run through this book. It starts out, some friends are on a subway. They go to get off, and they beckon this other person to come with them. The other person punches one of them, knocks them out of the car.
This is New York City. That's a typical way of saying goodbye.
This is New York, you guys. The subway car takes off, and this homeless person turns into some demon thing, and kills a person. Then we meet another homeless person named Yusuf, who is having a weird, crazy dream. Wakes up in grass with the rain. I think the rain has something to do with it.
Do with what?
Well,
crazy,
because when we meet Detective Torres, it turns out Yusuf helped her daughter. Detective Torres is investigating the murder on the subway, but Yusuf helped her daughter. So Detective Torres attempts to wants to repay the kindness. And interestingly, when she insists, it starts raining again. So I don't know. I could be just picking out things that don't mean anything, but I thought maybe the rain has something to do with his whatever he has. What else?
That's
we find out she's going to get a partner in the case. And then we get more of a Yusuf hanging out with like a vampire and a werewolf
at some kind of like homeless shelter, right?
Yeah.
It's monster therapy.
Be confident, bro. Have confidence when you do your review. And there was like a werewolf.
Yeah. No, I have confidence and I don't know what the hell's going on.
It's raining monster man.
I'm confident. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Is it though?
Is it really? Is it really?
Is it really though? Oh wait, to quote Gaumer. No.
No.
No. And then towards the end of the book, we get possibly another murder, actually probably a murder on the same subway car. And evidently Yusuf has the shining. I don't know. He has visions. He's got the shinning. You've got the shinning, Yusuf.
Red rum.
Now, Homer, I can help you, but you've got to trust.
Dude,
it's Yusuf Day at the last stop. But that's about it. I mean, we're getting some.
Chris Garcia says, "I definitely don't want to read this book just based on the review."
Yeah.
Jeremy Massey says, "What the hell is this book?"
I'll sum it up. For some reason,
I thought that's what you've been doing.
there's these murders. No, there's murders happening on a subway car, a specific subway car. It seems like this homeless guy Yusuf evidently has visions and stuff, and possibly even visions of these murders happening, where he's almost in the body of the person getting murdered. And then Detective Torres is on the case.
But Yusuf also goes to like group therapy with a vampire
and a werewolf.
Yeah, but it's not a funny book.
Which completely threw me off.
At one point, Yusuf's like walking into the bathroom of Torres's house, and she's like half naked. Yeah. I didn't know what was gonna happen there, dude.
There were things that
it does have a name, Jeremy. It's Last Stop on the Red Line, number one. Dark Horse.
And I don't know, this book, I could see where this book may be for somebody. I'm not going to dog it.
And I don't ever want to meet that person.
But
Gomer will do that. Gomer will dog it. Don't worry.
But
I can't wait.
This is Adam Wade Adams' last stop on this red line.
The solicit for this book made it sound like it was something a little less supernatural.
Yeah, you put it on the poll.
Yeah, I did not
put this one on the poll.
Oh, you didn't? Who did?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I have no clue, bro.
It wasn't y'all three, so it had to have been nobody.
But no, I wasn't expecting like a supernatural twist to it, but I dug it enough that I'm probably going to check out issue 2.
Which supernatural twists weren't you expecting?
I was
weird supernatural murders, or the fact that one of the lead characters hangs out in group therapy with a vampire and a wolfman.
I wasn't expecting any of that. I was expecting murders on a subway that a detective is trying to figure out. I got that, but I wasn't expecting the murderers to be monsters.
And not even
the murderers monsters?
No, they're just really hungry. They're just really hungry, Gomer.
And they weren't even low-key vampire werewolf. They were stereotypical vampire werewolf.
Yeah, it was like,
I am Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird. I had no clue what was going on. I actually like the art quite a bit, but I'm just so completely lost that there's no reason for me to pick up issue number 2. Because I can't tell if issue number 2 is actually going to make sense in the context of issue number 1, because I had no idea what was going on. I'm waiting for the trade.
There is some weirdness in it.
I think this is a 4-issue miniseries.
Yusuf has these dreams, and I think he has some kind of connection to the actual creatures that are doing the murders.
It's hard for me to base my review off what I think might happen in the next 3 issues. But basing my review off just reading this one turd of a book, we're 2 for 2 this podcast. It's 2 reviews, 2 turds.
We can move on and make it 3 for 3. Don't worry.
Right?
I thought the latest episode of Doom Patrol where Flex Mentallo flexed and everybody had an orgasm. I thought that was the weirdest thing I saw this week. But no, this book beat that.
Yeah, that actually happened on a TV show. A dude flexed at the beach and everybody around him started having an orgasm. Woohoo! Where's that beach?
That's Flex Mentallo, baby.
Let's move away.
Star Wars, Age of Rebellion, Lando Calrissian, number 1, written by Greg Pak, art by Matteo Bafagna, colors by Tamara Bonvillain, letters, BC's Travis Lanham.
Travis Lanham.
Land of the Ham.
Guy. Love that guy.
Travis. He's a busy dude, busy dude. This is just another one-shot in the Age of Rebellion Star Wars series. I think we got Jabba next week, and then Luke followed by Vader. And then did they announce that they're doing
they are doing Age of Resistance.
Finn, Rey, who are they going to do? Finn,
Rey, Poe, Chromia.
Character, Finn, Rey, Poe.
And for Boogie, that means resist putting it on your pull list.
And I'm sure, what's his name?
Why can't we just enjoy Star Wars comics, bro? Why does that make you mad?
Ben Swallow.
Anyways, moving on. After I said that, I wasn't a big fan of this issue. But just like last week, talking about that Boba Fett issue, I'm not a Lando fan either. They're just side characters. And Boba Fett is even less than a side character. And growing up watching Star Wars, I liked Han and Luke and Obi-Wan and Vader. I like the main characters, not these cult following Lando and Boba Fett. I'm just whatever. This book, Lando needs money to sustain Cloud City. He tries to gamble his way into it, and that doesn't work. He ends up on this mission that takes a strange twist around slavery. And spoiler alert, Lando is a hero, and he does what's right, and he can't go through with it. This was boring. Even the artwork was bland. Like not necessarily the artwork as much as the coloring. Felt like it was so just flat, man. It was like flat. There was no shading. There was no depth. This replaced Boba Fett as my least favorite of these one-shots.
Yeah, me too. This would have been better as a comedy, like Lando and Lobot hang out, try to get money. It would have been better, but there was no humor there. The jokes that they tried to make fell flat. Lobot is such a cool character. They did get into him a little bit. I agree with Comic Mix Explained. Pack is hit or miss. When he hits perfect. When he misses, it's just like, what were you thinking, dude? What? And that's
did I just call him Greg Pak and you called him Greg Pack?
Hey, whatever. So, hey, we either hit or miss on Mr. Greg's name.
Is Lobot the guy with the robot ears?
He's got like that headband where he's connected into the machinery at Cloud
Yeah, he's got like that cybernetic earphones.
Yeah, 2-pack.
X-Pac.
2-pack.
X-Pac.
Yeah, there's only one Lando that you should be picking up, and that's Lando Lakes.
I thought you were going to make a Travis Lanham joke, and you failed me.
I think
Lando Ham.
Fun.
You have failed this Cloud City.
Travis Lando Ham.
You have failed this Cloud City. That's great. But yeah, this was just okay. It was like me. Who cares?
I didn't even think it was okay. I thought it was bad.
All right, we're 3 for 3 for the turds. This one was a little less stinky.
I can't wait to see what you say about this one. Naomi,
Hey,
Oh man,
number 5.
We might have to do a courtesy flush.
Yeah, before Naomi because it's only going to get stinkier.
All right, Naomi.
Sorry, Naomi.
Let's see if David can hit this plot in less than 3 minutes.
Yeah,
I doubt
get your
it.
stopwatch ready. See if we don't get a panel for panel breakdown of Naomi number 5.
Okay.
I may just mute myself and go brew some home beer.
Picking up from issue 4, Naomi finally discovers who she is and where she's from, and she reveals this information to her best friend Anne. We have 7 wonderful 2-page splash pages in this book, and the bad guy shows up.
That's the best.
That's
read you've
great,
ever done.
dude. You just nailed it.
So
Nailed
who is
it.
she, and where does she come from? Is it worth it? Was it worth the wait?
No,
I thought it was well worth the wait.
she's from
I'm
another
glad
universe.
David agrees with me.
She's from
let me
another
ask you
universe.
this.
She's
Let me ask
from
you
a
this.
parallel Earth that was affected by a crisis, and what happened was
Here comes the real
29
David review.
people on the parallel Earth got superpowers. Her mother and father were 2 of these people. A serial killer got powers and decided that he was going to F up their world, and the other 28 people picked sides, and within the first couple of months, half of those people were killed, and then a few months later, half of those people decided to leave Earth. Her mother describes through this device that Naomi picked up, the origin of the powers, where she's from, and this villain called what's my note say about the name here, so I didn't have to open the book.
It's got a Z in it because it's Bendis.
Zuma.
There you go.
Zumbadu.
Zuma, I love that with the little frog and the balls. That game.
Oh yeah, I've done that at the gym.
But her mother and father and the remaining heroes, the individuals with the superpowers, fought this guy to a standstill while he conquered the Earth and was using up resources. And Naomi was important because she was the firstborn child of any of these people who had superpowers.
So she's important. So let's send her away.
They
become irrelevant.
The biggest problem with the
they sent her away to
That's
protect
your biggest
her.
problem with this?
No.
Send her away to protect her.
So she's like a female version of Superman, of
Exactly.
the Superman
Pretty much.
story.
Didn't
And
we
this
know
is
that?
Bendis?
though?
We knew
this.
it.
We knew that.
This is the question I want to ask you. Was Adam said, was it worth it?
No.
So we've got 4 issues with Bendis storytelling, right? He's dragging you along.
Okay.
And he's giving these little pieces, not very much, and then bam, issue 5 hits, and we get the full origin story. And Comics Misexplained says he never read it, but he heard she found out she got powers, and then just talks to her friend about it. That's the gist of what happened. But there's so much more to it than that. It's it's like David said, you're getting all these 2-page spreads with tons of dialogue telling this origin story. So my question is this: would you have rather had this as the #1 issue and none of the bullcrap we've been through, or do you like it better the way that Bendis went about it? Does that make sense?
I think this could have happened 1 issue earlier. I think issue 1, issue 2 were basically rehashes of themselves. Issue 3 kind of starts going somewhere. Issue 4 really takes off, and issue 5 is the payoff. I think we could have done this in 4 issues.
I agree with that. I like the slow build, but I agree. I agree with that.
I'm okay. Comics Misexplained says that Bendis just wants to create minority characters. I'm okay with him creating minority characters. I'm okay with him creating new characters. I'm not okay with him spending 4 issues, walking around, waltzing around this mystery while giving us all this other backstory that really has nothing to do with anything that's going on. They told us that Naomi's family, her adopted parents, are special, and this D guy is special. Well, you know what? They are, but their specialness has absolutely nothing to do with Naomi being special. And now that the mystery is, revealed, the cat is out of the bag, we do know Naomi's entire backstory. There's absolutely nothing compelling about her because all she does is have a cool backstory. That's literally every DC character ever created. They do. They all have a dope backstory. It's all cool. But now what? Now what, Naomi? Now we got another issue coming where the big bad's going to come in. Then what? I guess the Justice League is going to come save her. And
that doesn't excites me. I like the big bad. And I wish the next issue was her being like, all right, I'm tracking this son of a bitch down and we're gonna rock and roll. But instead, what happens after issue 5? Are we gonna wrap it up in issue 5 and then she's gonna disappear to some other Wonder Comics book?
Yeah,
at some point in time, is Wonder Comics going to get folded, and is she going to just start appearing in regular DC books?
Wonder Comics is already folded. Right now, we have this, which is done in another issue. We have Dial H for Hero, which was a stinker, and we have Young Justice. That's it. Wonder Twins is done. What was the other one? Wonder Comics book they had. It's
Young
done.
Justice is
Young Justice is still going on. It's been solicited for issue number 8 in August.
Will she not end up in that?
Exactly. Naomi's going to end up in Wonder Comics, and this is going to be 5 or 6 issues of nothing but nonsense to introduce a new character that is going to wind up in a book that no one else is reading. She's going to end up being nothing. One shining star in this entire series is that amazing art. That Campbell art is unbelievable.
He's the superstar.
It might be worth it for that, but Bendis is just slow burn on this.
Chris Garcia says Naomi is great, but this origin story should have been 3 issues. Now, this is Comics Misexplained says, why create another Superman, Iron Man, etc.? It's just lazy. Here's my thing. Let me play devil's advocate. Part of me agrees with that.
Devil's advocate.
Part of me, when he brought up minorities earlier, that Bendis is just trying to create minorities. A lot of times we change characters and then people get pissed, right?
Yeah.
You make a character gay, people get pissed. You do this, you do that. Cap gives the shield to Sam Wilson. Well, Captain America's black now. Why is he doing that? Captain America's not black. He's white. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? And the answer is always create your own character. You want a black female, create that. You want a gay character, create that. That's what we're doing. We're creating a minority
But I understand
character.
his question. It's a bit deeper than that. Why are these companies taking an existing character and rolling out a new character
Very
sort
similar
of based
Very
on that?
Yeah.
My answer to that is, what else do DC and Marvel have going for them besides their characters? What else do they have? I mean, you can spit out a new character, Riri, and she has all these different unique powers, but no one is going to care as much if you put her in the Iron Man armor and she's already has a familiarity about her.
But you know what made that is not putting her in the Iron Man armor. It was we beat it in the ground, but AI Tony. AI Tony with Riri made that story work. I loved Riri until Bendis quit writing it, and then it's exactly what's going to happen to Naomi. He stops. Riri's comic stops. She goes to Champions, and she's just an afterthought.
Yeah,
hashtag
the side character.
All that bullcrap. And now, I don't know what's going on in the current run with Riri. I'm not reading. I read the first issue, and it was whatever. It was all right.
Yeah. Comics Misexplained. He's totally down with new change to the guard and different minority characters, but Bendis is taking advantage I agree with him. He is riding that Miles Morales wave. Miles Morales was amazing, continues to be good. And I think that might be the problem. Bendis was able to see Miles Morales through in Ultimate Comics Spider-Man and all the way through until Miles actually came to the 616 and then someone else took him over. But I think Bendis was given the time to flesh out Miles in a way where everybody already loved him. He didn't have that chance with Riri. He's definitely not going to have this chance with Naomi. So whatever.
So
I tend to agree with the Comics Misexplained.
Just listening, outside looking in, because I didn't read this. I haven't been following it, but just listening to you all talk about it, it sounds like you've been waiting and waiting, being drug along to find out what Naomi's big thing was. And then it sounds like he just copied Superman's story for her.
In a way, he did.
In a way,
not
that's
copy.
what it sounds like.
There's a
some
multiversal
similarities.
twist. There's a multiversal twist there where she's from a different Earth where it had its own sort of drama going on. I'm sorry. That sort of drama that all these people got powers all of a sudden in one day and then they went to war. Dude, give me that miniseries.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
that would be good. That reminds me of a book called Shining Star, something Stars. What is it, David?
I think it's Shining Stars.
Let me
Something
keep playing
Stars
devil's
good.
advocate. You said
J. Michael
"That's
Straczynski."
dope. Give me that, and then you complained about her backstory. So which is it? Is her backstory
No, I'm
dope?
complaining.
that's
her
where he should have
backstory.
started.
No, and I said her backstory is awesome, just like every other DC character. If you're going to try to create a new character and distinguish her from the rest of the DC stock of characters, like Comics Misexplained suggested,
Quit sucking up to the listeners.
I know. I'm just going on. I don't want to think like I'm stealing his comment, stealing his thought. But they did base her off of Superman. They've had this constant Superman thread throughout the book. And then once they give you the reveal, there's nothing else backing it up. All they did was say, hey, look at this cool origin story of this new character. Great.
There's
Great.
so much.
What else? Why else should I like this whiny teenage brat who goes and wanders off to her friend, tells her all this important,
You want to
really
You want to
important
know why,
stuff?
Gomer? You want to know why? What they should have done is started with this war in this universe.
He is, Jeremy.
What? Oh,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nope. Yeah, unfortunately, Jeremy. No, what
Says
they
the guy who read
started,
one issue of it.
Yeah,
they
right.
should have started with was this war, was this
Yes.
story. Have the end of that story would be you wouldn't even know Naomi was going to be a main character. You wouldn't even know that at the end after you followed these characters and all their trials and tribulations, she gets sent off, and then you kind of wonder where's she going? Where's she going to show
This
up?
is how
And
I
then
would have.
she shows up.
Yeah.
And
This is
that's
how
how you care.
This is how I would have written this story. I would have written the story where Naomi's adoptive parents are sitting her down and telling her her origin story, her adoption story. But don't let the reader in on all of that knowledge. Let them believe that you're watching Naomi in this other universe, but it's not. It turns out to be Naomi's mom.
That's what you
Who
do.
looks
With is that what you do with issue number 1?
Yeah, from start to issue number 1, I start telling this story about this multiversal thing that happened where everybody got powers. Yes, I go to that story because that's easily the most compelling aspect of anything that he told in this story.
That's why I asked.
Here.
That's why I asked the question at the very beginning. Would this have been a better number 1 issue? Because I thought this issue
would not have been a better number 1
No,
issue.
this wouldn't have been a better number 1 issue.
Because you can't just drop this on people where Naomi's going and telling her friend, this is what I just discovered. Because again, then you're only sort of glimpsing this other universe story. I want that to be the meat on the bone. This other multiverse story, that should have been the story. And then say, and look now here's Naomi in our universe, and Big Bad's finally tracked her down and is coming to get her. And then you end up where we are at the end of this issue. But whatever. She didn't have any powers, Comics Misexplained. She just got them after her dad handed her like this joy buzzer thing that gives her powers for some reason.
The
They
thing
didn't
that looks
explain
like
that either.
the thing that looks like the White Lantern logo, but it's
It
not.
did look like a White Lantern logo, and it didn't look exactly like it.
It didn't
but
look
again,
exactly like it, but it has some similarities.
I don't understand that either. How does an editor not say to Mr. Bendis, "Sorry, Mr. Bendis, this looks exactly like a White Lantern logo. You should maybe think about doing something else."
'Cause I think he's got the rule of the roost right now, and he's
Possibly.
doing what he wants to. And I can say now is when I see this may be bad. No, it is bad. It is bad on my part. But when I see Bendis on a book now, I just put it back because
It's like seeing Dan Slott on a book. Yeah.
I don't want to used to I would see Bendis on a book like with and I knew like powers and stuff. I was like, okay, this is going to be good. But that has changed in me, and now when I see Bendis on a new book, I just put it back.
You just hold your nose and
I'm still gonna read Event Leviathan.
Complain about it.
And I am. I'm gonna bitch every second.
Let's start a petition. Let's start a petition to rewrite.
Yeah.
Naomi.
Rewrite Naomi. We need 1 million signers for Bendis to get his head out of his butt.
That was a good conversation. And Comics
was.
Misexplained, thanks for adding to that, man.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know why I'm
everybody.
just spitballing and saying this live on air. We're coming up on issue 150. And I know Comics Misexplained has a show. Maybe him and Cheers to Comics. Maybe we'll even get old Leroy on here. Maybe
Oh
we'll
my
just
goodness. You don't know
nuts.
what you're
Jeremy
asking
Massey.
for.
Let's get Massey.
Don't know what you're asking for getting Leroy in here.
Oh, a lot of cussing, a lot of F-bombs.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the X-Men. I've not read it yet, but let's talk about it.
X-Men number 18. We have always been part number 2. Rosenberg, Carlos Villa on the art. Inker, Juan Velasco and Craig Tung. Colors were Guru Effects, and letters were VC's Joe Caramagna. We're still going off of the events of the weekly and the fallout of the Age of X-Men. When it's revealed that no one remembers Emma Frost. That's where we were in the end of the last issue. This issue is basically more of the same. Team members want to leave the team. Chamber dies. They fight the Marauders, and then Sinister shows up. Yeah, again. And then Mr. Sinister shows up. He destroys their current headquarters and just messes up everybody. They end up getting over that. And then at the end, Mystique is hanging out with Emma Frost. This is still just good, not great. I'm not sure it's this book's fault, though. This might be like Age of X-Men is bad. You know, it's just a stupid thing that I feel is limiting the writing here because he wasn't able to use but like 5 members of the freaking team. So the news that Hickman is coming to the thing too and cleaning the entire slate just takes the air out of everything. So, I mean, it's good. It's just we know better is on the way. And I hate to say that talking about Rosenberg, but we do. I'm not blaming Rosenberg, 100 on all this, but
How many people cancel the last 4 to 5 issues of this?
right. I'm still going to get them.
Yeah, I'm in after I
Still gonna
complained
get
so much.
Exactly. But yeah, there you go. Transform or X-Men. Anybody reading X-Men?
I'm reading it, but I didn't read it yet because I've got
Hell of it.
48,000 books on my
Right.
random reviews. Transformers Click.
All right, the Click.
I did read this crap, unfortunately.
Transformers number 5. This is the end of the first arc. The World in Your Eyes, Part 5. Brian Ruckley is writing. This is a big problem. Art: Anna Malkova, Angel Hernandez, Sarah Portray Durashare. The colorist on this was Joanna LaFuente and Tom B. Long doing the letters. Tommy B. I need to go back and count how many issues of Transformers Tom B. Long has lettered. He might have the record.
He belongs in the Hall of Fame.
He belongs in the Transformers Hall of Fame. This is just not a great series. And I don't mean it's just not a good comic based on the action toy cartoon series from the 1980s. Well, sure, there's no action at all in this comic book, but there's also bad pacing, bad plotting. The art is inconsistent, and it's just an overall boring story revolving around this murder of Brainstorm. So with that said, this issue sort of earns back a bit of the anticipation to continue reading as the lead character, Rubble, appears to have been murdered himself at the end of the issue.
Oh no.
But this is overall just a total kick in the nuts.
He appears to be
Transformers
murdered,
book.
and I did not even care.
Oh, I didn't either. I was like, oh, cool.
They all can't be GoBots, Gomer.
Yeah, they all can't
Oh,
be.
get that. I'm gonna.
Screwhead.
He's gonna
you.
get reformatted.
Oh, my name is Screwhead. Yeah, I'm a Screwhead.
I said it
Most
before. This is
apple
your
name ever.
Fantastic Four. You're only reading it because it's Transformers, just like
That's
I'm
exactly
only
right.
reading Dan Slott's Fantastic Four because it's Fantastic Four. This is terrible, and I'm dropping it.
The IDW stuff prior to this, the Transformer stuff was, in my opinion, some of the best comics ever written. More Than Meets the Eye and Lost Light by Robinson were just amazing. I loved every bit of them. I actually went back this weekend and started reading them again.
What about Simon Furman that Jeremy?
Oh yeah, Simon Furman is classic. He got his start over there on the British stuff, and he moved over to the American stuff. He is royalty, Transformers comic book royalty. But he's not writing this, Massey. This is garbage.
Dang.
Is Simon Furman to Transformers what Larry Hama is to G.I. Joe?
I would maybe not go that far, but it's certainly a good comparison. Yeah, I wouldn't go quite that far. But yeah.
We got 10 in the live chat, guys. If you haven't done it yet, jump over, hit the like button, share out the link. Let's grow the live chat. We're going to get into some random reviews presented by
6 turds.
I'll go that far.
Naomi wasn't a turd, dude. You shut your mouth.
Half a turd.
33%. Me and David liked it.
Yeah.
Check out our latest
there
sponsor.
are 4 people here. How
Adam
can that
didn't
be?
read it. So by default, he liked it. So you're down to 25%.
Naomi.
Collar and Elbow Brand really appreciates this. Random reviews presented by Collar and ElbowBrand.com. Check them out. Use the promo code ComicCast and save 10% at checkout on all kinds of great wrestling merchandise. Are you laughing at Comics Misexplained?
I'm laughing at everybody.
I
don't want to get into the. I think Jeremy Massey and I could have a ongoing conversation about Transformers and G.I. Joe creators. I think that would be fun, but not now. Oh yeah. Brian, I'm getting there, bro. I will get there, my friend. Oh my goodness.
Larry Hama also wrote a couple of amalgam comics too.
Yes, yeah.
We're not going there.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Daredevil #5 may be the best comic book I read this week.
Oh man, it was easily the best comic book I read.
I don't know where to start because we didn't iron any of this out. So let's just all talk at the same time. What's on Gomer's file?
Okay,
let's do it. Let's go. Daredevil #5.
What I read this week was
Chip Zdarsky, Marco Cicchetto. Between this and the Punisher book, who needs that Netflix stuff in any way, dude?
I do.
Daredevil and Punisher. I don't remember them ever being this good at the same time in a long time. It's just great. Spider-Man shows up and tells him you got to hang it up. The Defenders are there, dude. Daredevil is just having this amazingly subtle mental breakdown. It's just wonderful, man.
What was crazy was at the beginning of this issue, I was kind of, as I started reading it, I was like, I almost got disappointed. I was like, where are they going to take this? Is it going to just fall off and not be good? I don't know why I had that feeling going into it. And then, like you said, the Defenders show up, man. Their conversation was so freaking deep, talking about killing, even if by accident. And then Spider-Man comes in and kind of says the same and reiterates it. But then he's like, dude, you got to stop. You can't do this anymore. And then he decides to freaking step down as Daredevil. And we talked about this exact same scenario with Charles Soule's Daredevil run.
Yeah.
And was that what the death of Daredevil really meant? And then here Chip Zdarsky runs with it. I like it, but I'm curious to see how long this goes on.
Well, I mean, nothing lasts forever, but I agree with you. I'm going to enjoy it as long as it lasts. Yeah, the Defenders admitted to killing, and they were like kind of nonchalant about it. Like, yeah, it just sort of happens. Maybe not that to that extent. But the way Matt reacted,
we don't do it on purpose.
Exactly. The way Matt reacted to the realization that, oh my God, you guys are all murderers, and I'm hanging out with you.
He even said that, didn't he?
Yes.
He said, you're all murderers.
You guys are way cool.
And then he didn't realize he was wearing the Punisher shirt. That's just, you know what I mean? He like, oh my gosh, I was wearing the Punisher shirt the whole time I was doing this. You know what I mean? He's just having this great breakdown.
You would wonder why he couldn't smell the gunpowder.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying this so much, man, and I didn't think I would.
I'll hit another Marvel book real quick. I'm not even going to really talk about it. I'm just going to say the Black Widow miniseries wrapped up from the Soska twins, and it is so freaking good.
I need to read that.
It's just like what Brian Hill did with Killmonger.
Nice.
It doesn't feel like what you would expect a typical Marvel miniseries to be. It's so good. So good. Check it out.
Nice.
Any other Marvel stuff? We're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. Donny Cates, Jeff Shaw, Beta Ray Bill calls on Lockjaw, the Inhumans, for help. My favorite part of this book was Donny Cates, y'all, throws a joke in there about how bad the sales were in Death of Inhumans. because Beta Ray Bill's like filling everybody in about what happened to the Inhumans. And they're like, oh, we didn't hear about that. And Beta Ray Bill's like, don't worry, not a lot of people did. Oh man, so funny. But yeah, great book, man. Still really good over there with Donny Cates, y'all.
You like what they're doing with Thanos in that?
Do we want to spoil it?
You don't
do arrows, do a barrel roll.
It doesn't matter.
He's the new Thanos. I think he pretty much called that from the beginning.
But I think
anybody who was paying attention,
I love when Thanos is like, he's not going to survive this. He's dead.
Yeah, yeah. I'm anxious to see where it goes because I don't think for a second that Thanos is actually coming back and Star Fox is going away. I think they're going to stop him. I think that the bad, what do they call them, the Dark Guardians and the regular Guardians are going to get together and stop this. And if that happens, it's building towards a great fight, man, because the Black Order's there. Hela's there. Hela's move on Cosmic Ghost Rider was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah.
Was it hella awesome?
Hella awesome.
This all came out of Infinity Wars, didn't it?
It did. Yeah, all
the
stemmed
only
out
good
of that.
thing to come out of this was Donny Cates on Guardians of the Galaxy. But what sucks is it's over. But it's going to go right into the Silver Surfer Black.
I'm anxious for that as well.
I am too. Yeah, I'm in, man. I don't even like the cosmic stuff, and I'm so in on this because Donny Cates is owning
exactly because Donny Cates is running the show. Yeah. More Marvel, Immortal Hulk. Anybody?
I've not read it yet.
Not much happened.
I told you, dude.
I do want to get off on that cliffhanger, though, dude. A new
just don't spoil it.
A new Abomination shows up. It's gonna be so good. I can't wait.
I gotta say, I'm not going into details, but Image, dude, every single month. This is the worst week. I said I spent what, $95 this week, but it's because everything is so freaking good. I can't drop anything. And Kick-Ass, Oblivion Song, Farmhand, all three amazing books from Image. You got to check out.
Gideon Falls number 13.
Not read it yet. No, don't talk about it.
There are no spoilers. It's mind-blowingly good still. It's hard for me to believe that every single issue of Gideon Falls can be as good as it is.
David, did you read Kick-Ass?
So wonderful.
I haven't read it yet. I picked it up, but I haven't read it.
Man, I don't know why we're the only two people on this podcast.
What about Spider-Man Life Story? Did you read this issue?
I got it. I've not read it yet.
Dude, the first issue was rough for me because we hadn't really moved into the gimmick of the book. The book is every decade is a timeline. In the first one, it's just a rehash of his origin story, pretty much. You get a little bit of Vietnam stuff in there, but not really a lot. This one, they get into the Secret Wars, and MJ's pregnant, and Aunt May is freaking 90 and senile, and Peter gets sucked into the Secret Wars, so she's alone, pregnant with twins, having to take care of Aunt May and cover for Peter while he's gone. Parker Industries is a thing. He gets over on the symbiote perfectly. Yeah, dude. This cool little twist here that, again, Chip Zdarsky is pushing in there. I still don't think the book is worth the cover price. I think it's going to read better in trade. But, oh, man, it's good. No, Adam isn't reading any books.
Adam doesn't read books.
Read.
I got a bunch of old stuff I got to talk about.
Do it. And then let's talk about, did you read Justice League this week?
Not yet, dude. And it's because you're going to find out why.
We're not even going to talk about Justice League then because it was way over the top, dude. I think the Sixth Dimension Part 6, which is the next issue, I think that ends it. So next episode that lands. Oh, man. It was so good.
David,
go ahead, Boog. Holy crap.
I want to know what David read, then I'm going to get into this old stuff.
All right. I'll be real quick about it.
I doubt it.
Hey, I'm proud of him for his Naomi.
Me too.
That's
the best yet.
You're going to get into what, Boogie?
Some old stuff.
Old stuff. Okay.
This is why I didn't read all this new stuff, because I've read old stuff the entire time I was out of town.
Yeah.
All right. So Morning in America number 3.
Oh, I didn't read it.
We finally what previous issues the girls were kind of investigating all the disappearances and stuff. They apparently when somebody disappears, like their family disappears shortly afterwards or moves away. So they were investigating a house, and the redhead girl, Ashley, she gets taken away by the monster. It doesn't reveal the monster in the second issue. Now in this issue, the girls are trying to find out what happened to their friend Ashley. They've learned that the police are aware of the disappearances but refuse to investigate it. And they contact a science fiction writer and they were kind of explaining their situation to her, and the science fiction writer was like, well, I don't take calls from fans and all this. And then they explain something else, and she goes, if you're dealing with Marathon, then I don't have any reason to doubt you. And it promptly hangs up, and the girl's like, we never mentioned anything about Marathon. So obviously the science fiction writer knows something is going on. They continue to look for their friend, look for
Really,
more.
Adam?
What? I didn't do anything.
I thought you hit the sound machine. Sorry, David.
No.
and we finally get to see what the creature is. The girls fight the creature and kill it, and then it looks like a cross between a giant bat and a predator, and it has glowing green blood like a predator. And the girls kill it.
One ugly son of a bitch.
One ugly son of a bitch. If it bleeds, you can kill it.
That's right.
But the girls leave the body out in the open, and the police are finally like, oh shit, we got a problem.
All right.
So that was Morning in America #3 in a nutshell. High level #4.
Yeah, I didn't read it either.
We go. Minnow was kidnapped in issue 3, and so 13 goes to a place called Pleasure Island, which is basically like you can do anything you want at Pleasure Island. As long as it's consensual. Anything.
Well, thank goodness.
Non-consensual. Anything non-consensual is basically punished by death. So she wants to speak to the people in charge, and they're like, well, the fastest way you can go talk to the room, which is what the people in charge are called, is to commit a crime. So she commits a crime by going after a group of whites, not separatists, but supremacists.
Okay.
And gets taken to the room. The room is revealed to be basically a bunch of people merged together into one giant thing.
Cool.
And basically,
talk about consensual. Whoa.
And basically, punishment is you get fed to the thing.
Okay.
And so she tells the thing that there's a child auction going on in your city, and the thing's like, there shouldn't be because we don't allow children in the city. And they're like, well, we're going to give you 6 hours to prove it, and if you don't prove it in 6 hours, we eat you. And she ends up finding the child auction, finds Minnow, and the bad guys.
Well, it ends well.
The bad guys get eaten.
Good.
And, one last thing. As a reward, for proving that there was a crime going on that the room was not aware of, the room gives them special access to a subway tunnel that takes them all the way to High Garden.
That's where they needed to go.
That's where they needed to go.
High level, not High Garden.
Yeah, high level.
High Garden.
High level.
High Garden is somewhere else.
I read the first issue of this.
Really though? We all do.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Does this
That's it. That's it.
Red line.
That's it. I will let Boogie take the floor.
Oh man, this is going to go on forever. Not really. I'll be quick. I did finally read House of M from Brian Michael Bendis. You guys almost spoiled this for me last week. I was holding my breath hoping you wouldn't. But you guys were talking about the heartbreak for Spider-Man. But for me, dude, it was for Wanda. When she was talking about she knew what she needed to do was kill herself, but she was too scared to do it. That's some freaking dark stuff, man.
No, it was.
So I read that.
But you didn't like the Spider-Man when he's banging on the table?
Dude,
Damn
it was
it.
great.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it, dude.
It's great.
How about Layla Miller in that?
Well, no, that didn't do anything for me.
She ends up being in a book called X Factor from Peter David that is must read, in my opinion.
Yeah, they were talking about the reason I'm reading House of M, anybody that missed the last time I talked about this, because I'm jamming through New Avengers from Bendis as I listen to the Bendis Assembled podcast, and they were actually talking about her character and what happened to her after the event. I've still got quite a few issues of New Avengers, and then I'm going to be adding Mighty Avengers, and I think the next event on there is Secret Invasion. So, that's a pretty good ways away before I get into that.
Secret Invasion makes you flip back into New Avengers and look for all the little clues that Bendis, did the whole time. It's wonderful.
Probably my favorite thing I read this week was Nailbiter, the Murder Edition, Volume 3. Joshua Williamson and Mike Henderson. If you've not read this, oh my gosh, it is so good. I'm just going to read the little thing off the back of the book. 16 of the world's worst serial killers, all born and raised in the same small town. For years, people have tried to solve the mystery of why this town, and now the truth is finally revealed, but at what cost? This was so freaking good. I've waited so long to read the conclusion of this story. I started off reading it in trade, loved it so much that I started buying the single issues. Then I loved it so much that I had to have the hardcovers to collect on the bookshelf. So I gave, I don't know, like 18 issues to Adam to read, and I've not read past issue 20 until this just came out this past week, and I couldn't put it down, man. We got a cabin for the weekend, and I sat there and just read it cover to cover. So good. Top 5 comics of all time. So freak, dude, it's great. Have you read it? Have you ever read it?
I've read some of Nailbiter.
Oh,
Yes.
God, so good.
Well, when it started, it's like they get the serial killer to help investigate, right?
The whole thing is the Warren, who is the nail biter. Throughout the story, you're like, is he a serial killer or is he not? Is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? And the third volume answered so many questions, but at the same time opened up more questions, and it just man, it's just.
It reminded me kind of like The Blacklist. Have you ever heard of the show, The Blacklist?
Is that? Yeah, I've heard of it. I've not watched it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like they get an insider to help out the good guys, with the problems.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. We watched, I think, maybe the first season. Every episode seemed to be the same though.
Right? Yeah.
Lastly, quickly, Paper Girls, Volume 1 and 2.
How can you not remember Judd Nelson's name? That's the voice of freaking Hot Rod.
What?
I don't think I was thinking of Judd Nelson.
What are you talking about?
You mean Eat My Shorts, Judd Nelson?
Yeah.
Anyways, Paper Girls, Volume 1 and 2. Collects issues 1 through 20, Brian K. Vaughan.
It's not Judd Nelson, it's James Spader. Shit.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You guys go ahead.
Let me know when you're done.
I'm done.
No, not Boogie. Go ahead.
I'm trying like hell, man.
No.
Paper Girls, Volume 1 and 2. It's typical Brian K. Vaughan. 4 paper girls, all like early teenage years, waking up to deliver newspapers. And it's got a bunch of cool 80s references. It's set in 1988, but if you've read Saga or anything from Brian K. Vaughan, it's not simple. It's got aliens, monsters, time travel. It's insanity. But what's cool is to watch the girls go through these relationships as they go through this nuts world that Brian K. Vaughan has created. It's freaking fantastic. I think they're wrapping it up in July. So I'm going to sit tight and wait on that third. It's going to be just like Nailbiter. I'm going to have to sit and wait on that third hardcover to drop, but freaking Paper Girls is great.
It is.
That's it. Go Adam.
All right. Well,
I read a lot of comic books to not read any new comic books.
The one of my favorite new publishers, Ahoy Comics, just dropped Planet of the Nerds issue 2. If you ever wondered what would happen when the jocks bullies from the 80s ended up at a comic book convention, this book shows you what happens. The funniest thing is all the guys at the convention keep mistaking this bully as doing Biff cosplay. So that was funny. And we want to talk about old stuff. I picked up a book from 2011. It is a Marvel What If number 200. Which is what if let me get to the splash page. It's what if Norman Osborn won Siege of Asgard. Man, look at that art.
I think I have that.
It's this first story, the art.
Oh yeah, I definitely have that.
It's like incredible, done by Dave Wilkins. But man, this book is nuts. It's got other stories in it. It's got like a editorial as to where the What If series came from. Nice. But man, I think I only paid like $1 for this thing. So if you ever have a chance, pick up What If 200. You won't be disappointed.
Old stuff.
Is that it? We're done.
Old stuff. Yay.
We don't even have to do the book of the week.
I can show this off real quick, and then we'll go into the book of the week. I showed off Jeremy Massey art last week. Here's more Jeremy Massey art. Look at that. Look at Jeremy Massey drawing me that sketch. Is that not dope?
Oh, my gosh. Freaking amazing.
I'm only showing off because he's in the live chat. I have to
Dude.
show off all of his
I
art. Look at
freaking
that.
love it.
Come on.
Ahoy pays real money? What? Yeah, that
Oh,
dude, that
awesome.
art. I'm not going to be able to stand up for at least 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough sucking up to Massey. I hear that guy's a real jerk.
Yeah.
Ask ComicSkate about him.
What? Hey. We don't
See if he'll put some comments about that. Outright Geekery, Book of the Week. OutRightGeekery.com, your one-stop shop for news, reviews, previews, podcasts, everything geek at your fingertips. Here, the owner there is a real jerk, too. Ask
He's
him
an
about
asshole. He beats his kids.
it. Oh, I'm still locked on myself. I'm like, why is it still staying on me when Gomer's talking about beating his kids? All right. War of the Realms, Giant Man, #1, written by Leah Williams, art by Marco Castillo, colors by Rachel Rosenberg, apparently not related to Matthew Rosenberg, letters by VC's Joe Sabino.
Joey Sabino.
This will be quick and we'll be done with it shortly. This book, they pissed me off right out of the gate because they talk about the events in this book take place after War of the Realms #2, but we read War of the Realms #4 this week. So you probably should have released this in between issues 2 and 3. Just my humble opinion. I'm a very humble man, but whatever.
That E on your hat stands for editor.
Yep. Few Giant Men, Part 1. Lady Freya, again, is the busiest woman in all of Marvel. She is all over the place in this event, and she wants revenge on the King of the Frost Giants for killing her son, Loki. How sad. He'll be back. Don't worry. What's the plan? Send Ant-Man, Giant Man, Goliath, and Atlas to work undercover as Frost Giants. That premise sounds cool to me.
No, it doesn't.
But we
Really?
It's the Blue Man Group.
It's the Blue Man Group.
If you'll let me finish. They spent half the book establishing the premise and the fact that these characters can be giants. This was pointless. There was no point to this book. The mission starts and then they're discovered by ice hounds and the cliffhanger doesn't matter. The whole book is a waste of time.
This is an uninteresting comic book starring a group of uninteresting characters doing uninteresting things in an uninteresting comic book event.
So
That's a lie. Stop hating on War of the
I
Realms.
wipe my ass with this.
You
This
have
is why
praised
you
this event
should hate
until
War of
now.
the Realms.
You praised this event until this week.
This is a tie-in that should make you hate War of the Realms and everything about it.
You just got to find the right tie-ins, bro.
I got to sift through. Wait till next week after you listen to 4 or 5 podcasts. Then you'll know which books to pick up. No.
Stop talking about other podcasts and just talk about this one.
Cheers to Comics is right. This book is Ice Giant appropriation.
It is.
All right. I'm insulted.
I thought Adam was going to show the cover and he threw it down.
I'm sorry.
Do you want to stab it with a knife? That's what some people do to get views.
Wipe your butt with it on air.
I'm blue. Who the hell cares? Who the hell cares?
Does anybody have anything positive to say about this book, or do we just want to rate it?
I forgot that
Yeah, I
this was
kinda
the
like
book of the
the
week, so I forgot to get it.
Good.
Wow, you are suspended for 3 weeks from ComicCast.
Hooray!
This is the first time in 144 issues that somebody didn't read the book of the week.
You are suspended.
He picked a great week to skip it, though.
Hey, Comics Misexplained, what are you doing next Sunday around 2:00?
Hey, I'll sleep in.
The awesome.
Yeah, Dave's like, I can sleep in.
The entire book. That is like Marvel characters in Ice Giant appropriation via Skyrim.
Not
This-
my Jotunheim.
This should be
Oh my gosh, we're pronouncing it wrong again.
just time. This book should have been awesome. This book. I mean,
Should have been what?
can we
How
not-
would it have been awesome?
one a giant like
The premise really does sound okay.
Atlas suplexing an ice giant onto
Yeah.
onto trees?
It could have been cool, man. It just was awful.
It could have been. It should have been cool. The funny thing is, it says it's called Giant Man. Why is it not Giant Men?
It should be
don't
Giant
know.
Man. It's raining Giant Man.
It's raining
Yeah.
Giant Men. It's Giant Men. I mean,
This book made Comics Misexplains Jotunheim shrink.
is Jotunheim?
I'm giving it $1.99 only because
Yes.
the art was good.
I gave it $1.99 too. The art was passable. Yes.
Need to get Comics Misexplains Jotunheim back. Show that Massey art again.
And dude, and you say the art was great.
No, I didn't say great. I said it was
Okay.
good. Calm your nuts.
If Adam shows up that panel again, them all walking around with their shirts off all blue, it looks like the cover of a
Well, because that's what
Ice
the book's
giant
about, dude. What do you want him to
romance
draw? An
novel.
aircraft carrier?
I don't know, but
Hey, check out this
wanted
cool
it to
race
be-
car.
I want it to be better than
The
this.
art is good. It's just that's what they had to
Look
draw,
at that.
man.
It looks like the cover of like a Jotunheim love novel.
All right, so guess what? This week, Gomer's going to put on
Frosty
40 pounds
and
of
Grace.
muscle and draw a comic
Yep.
book.
Hey, Gomer. Gomer, do you think they got each other's back?
Yeah, way back. Hey,
Adam, rate this book. David's
right in the
suspended.
back.
I should mute David for the rest of the podcast.
Man,
Go ahead and mute me for the rest of the podcast.
Ooh, sounds like a threat.
He already got mad at me once this
I
week.
know.
Man, I'm gonna rate it $1.99.
Peer
I
pressure.
want to put it in the discount bin, but I actually did like some of the art, and I'm not going to diss the artist on that. So
Yeah, is anybody on this Giant Man book actually named Giant Man? There's Ant-Man, Goliath, Atlas.
Yeah,
So the fourth one is
goatee
Giant
dude,
Man.
the goatee dude is Giant Man.
And what he got his suit, and it's not even a power; it's a suit. You didn't even make the damn suit.
They
None
stole
of these
it.
four
They
guys
talked
made
about
the
that in the
damn
whole- in the-
suit.
in
And
the-
I'm
in the issue.
assuming Atlas. I thought Atlas was dead. I thought he died.
The thing about this is,
It's a
I knew
suit.
that-
Anybody can wear the suit.
yeah, Goliath died in Civil War all those years ago, and I guess this is his nephew. I didn't even know he was a guy. I didn't even know he was a thing. He looks exactly like the old Goliath. I thought it was the old Goliath. They just brought him back. So I don't. It was a gift.
They should have.
Oh, I thought Brian in the chat was saying this comic was a gift. Like, you can return a gift. My shop said I can't bring it back.
I read Adam's code. I read it for free. Thanks, Adam.
Oh dang. Okay.
Made
All
it.
right. Outright Geekery Book of the Week poll for next week. David, what's going on there?
What's going on? The book of the week poll is Gomer's favorite porno, Road of Bones,
Road
number
of
one.
Bones, number one. Two high school graduates
Can't
are
wait to.
hitchhiking coast to coast on the Road of Bones.
We got Rich. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Dwayne.
Try, dude. You got to try.
Dwayne
There you go.
and Alex Cormac.
That one should be easy.
Yeah. Well, I know somebody named Carmack, so I was thinking Carmack for some.
That's where I bought my car, CarMax.
Carmax. In 1953, the submarine gulag of Koyomai is hell on earth, which is why Roman Morozov leaps at the chance to escape it. But even if they make it out, Roman and his fellow escapees still have to travel hundreds of miles across the frozen tundra.
Oh, gosh. Who cares?
Nobody cares. It's not going to win.
Yeah, it's not going to win.
But
I don't know what's
Philadelphia-
going to win.
in
I don't know
Philadelphia-
either. You're right.
Hey, everybody vote for this so we can do like bad Yakov Smirnoff gags.
All right. Mine is Star Wars AOR Jabba the Hutt number one.
That's
Yep,
your
that's it.
winner. That's your winner.
Winner,
One
winner,
shot,
chicken
Whatever.
dinner.
I got nothing to say about it.
It's Russia. Hut Jabba's you.
Adam, what do you got?
I got from Kevin Eastman Studios, radically rearranged Ronin Ragdoll's one shot by Kevin Eastman and Troy Little. From the pages of Drawing Blood and the mind of Kevin Eastman comes a story inside the story, the indie comic about 3 crime-fighting mutant cats, which launched the Ragdolls franchise in 1992 and kicked off the Ragdolls mania. See where it all began.
That's
this-
where it's about cats.
So this comic is actually the basis. There's a comic called Drawing Blood, Spilled Ink by Kevin Eastman about a guy who created this comic. So this comic, that's why it says it's a comic from a comic. And I should be getting both of those this Wednesday.
Congratulations.
I'm not going to be able to find it.
Yeah. So the actual comic is drawing blood, and this comic
tried it all, but
it's the comic within the comic of the comic.
it sounds like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I think Kevin Eastman's kind of basing it on the whole Ninja Turtle thing.
Oh, so he's stealing from himself.
Yeah.
Hey,
Rob
Colin's
Liefeld,
doing that
great to
too.
do that.
It's called being a whore. Thank
You
and-
guys will praise that, but you'll rip on Bendis for making a Superman story.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Naomi.
That's a good point.
Hey, Gomer,
Yes.
the comic shop is going to be getting copies of that.
Why did you have to say that like in public?
He's gonna call him and order it
Now,
for you.
he's gonna
check.
call him and make sure you put that box 72.
Yeah. Make sure to put the road bone zone in the black plastic cover so you
Two
can't.
college freshmen in the
Nobody-
summer of a lifetime.
They had all this money, but they hitchhiked.
Hey, Gomer.
Yeah, I know. Clue Candlestick #1. IDW Publishing. Dash Shaw doing double duty on the writing and the art. Yeah, this is based on the board game. There already was a miniseries. This was pretty cool. It was very meta, sort of digging in on itself most of the time. So I'm expecting the same thing here. Dash Shaw is pretty cool. So we'll see.
I read it's supposed to have the actual comic is supposed to have versions of the Clue game cards within.
Oh, fun.
So I guess whatever the characters are in the book, they're going to have their own Clue game cards in the comic as well.
Fun.
That won't
Yeah.
happen. I'm gonna read the review copy. Oh well.
Yeah. Yep, that's right, Jeremy. Dash freaking Shaw. He's done a lot of weird, under the radar stuff in comics.
I could
but-
not find that dude on Twitter, so I just
think
tagged
I-
IDW.
That
Oh.
sounds like a wrestler name. Dash.
It does.
Shaw.
Dash Shaw. And now weighing
He
in.
sounds like the kid from The Incredibles.
Oh yeah, that kid's name
Oh.
is actually Dash.
What's he
my-
weighing in at? If you're fat, you drop pounds. If you're skinny, you add pounds.
Yeah.
He's
Depends on
all
the-
right. That's
Gomer,
gonna wrap it up.
He's got a
Comcast
candlestick.
Issue.
He's got a candlestick.
I have to mute you guys again.
Yes, that's what I've heard. The bottomless belly button is dope. I've heard that's the book that I keep reading about.
I don't. It's just out of I don't know.
That's going to wrap it up for ComicCast issue number 144. We'll seriously talk about doing a big super show for 150.
Whoa.
I think it sounds like a good idea. We'll get Comics Misexplained on here. Some other outright geekery podcast. We got to be careful. We can't get too many people.
We'll have to have a rotating. We'll
There-
have to kick them out and get them in.
Oh
maybe.
God, that's the scary part about that is the Google link not working and I can't hear anybody.
Yeah, right.
So maybe we'll just bring like 8 people on here and just go nuts.
Woohoo!
We'll see what happens. But for Gomer, for Adam Wade Adams, and for AKA David, I'm Boogie Bentley. Be sure to hit up Dwayne's World Comics and Games and tune in next Sunday. We'll be back to the old time and day. So check us out on Twitter at ComicCastPod. Vote on the outright geekery book of the week. Until next week.